Hi there, I'm Jack. I lost my leg in a road accident in 2007, and in 2014 I had a clig protesis operation. It's now September the 2nd, 2016, and we're going for a nice walk in the countryside. Because we're going some rough terrain, I'm going to be wearing my VeluweWalking boots. You can see there I've got a Genium leg, and that's really good with different weights of shoe. It can be a bit of a handful to put the boot on because I have a paralyzed right hand, but a bit of patience, you get there. There you go, nearly done. And there you can see the mechanism of the clig protesis. And it's sometimes a good idea to have a stick, but today, do we need it? Nah, not really. Okay, ready to go. We chose a walk in the Veluwe. Let's see, I've got the statistics here. It was 6.19 kilometers. We did it in 2 hours and 27 minutes, and it was 11,148 steps. These are the first 20. Apologies to the physio team for this rather comfortable style of walking. It wasn't the purpose of this video to show how neatly I could walk. The idea is to let people see that you don't have to be scared of rough ground or distance. You have to think about it and build up towards it. So coming up there'll be a few interesting obstacles and steps and rough ground, and you'll see how I get through that. Looks like I lost the way here. Oh no, back on the path. I'm not really carrying much weight in that rucksack. It's a couple of bottles of water, and that's about it. Now a bit of an obstacle. Oops. The more you do this, the easier it gets. But you can see I keep my eyes on the ground compared with if I had two legs still. But there's no problem here. Some of these steps would be quite big. This one's a big one, I think, huh? Yeah. Bit of a hop. And the uphill, not really any more difficult, except it's harder work. Now we had good weather this day, so that makes a lot of difference. I think if you're walking in the wet, I think you've got to be a little bit more careful about what you decide to do. This conditions, it's no problem. Not pretty, but effective. And a bit of a downhill step again. It's the beginning of a long drag. I think there's 2 or 3 long drags on this walk that take you up to a viewpoint. But it's a lovely short thing. This is the 3rd time I've done this walk. The first time was a bit scary. Second time was herc. And this time it was like a stroll in the park, which is what it was really. This is what happens when you start getting tired. You're walking like there's something seriously wrong with you. There's a lot of roots on the path here from the trees, but makes it a bit uneven underfoot. But I've got a pretty good active foot on this protease, so that helps as well. And it's quite a lot of time. I don't need to check my foot; it just goes down. Don't need to look. And then you can enjoy the scenery, of course. Somewhere along here, I lost the gauze around my stoma, so I took the opportunity to put another one on, and I see I'm prepared for that by having a spare with me. That's what the rucksack's for. It's not that it's really necessary, it's just that the plastic is a little bit uncomfortable against your skin, so putting the gauze on is a comfort thing. And it stops things getting messy, because it can be a little bit what's the English word? I've forgotten. Vochtig? Damp. So, job done. Further on. Now the climb. Keeps going up this bit. Unrelenting. But that's just a matter of condition. Build that up by doing the walks, and it's not really difficult. Here we go. There's about 3 of these flights of stairs, and some of the steps are pretty high, but you can them. There's always a way. It's a shame for the Genium, it does all these fancy things on stairs indoors, but you need to have a handrail as well. Otherwise you're kind of stuck with dot and carry, they call it, one leg up and the next one onto the same flat. There we go, approaching the top now, through the heather. Cameraman got past me. What's this? Obviously looking tired. Legs all over the shop. But this is the summit. We're right at the top now. It's the last step and we're there. That's the highest point now. And now we're going back down. Different route, it's a round trip. They wouldn't give us a beer. It was 1 minute past 5. No, actually it was just before 5, but they were going home. So this path is kind of rutted and it's got some deep holes in it, but there's always a path around the stuff. You just have to take your time. There's one of the steep bits on the way back. Oh, we're just about done. At least we ran out of film at this point. Well, that's it. I hope that you're inspired. I enjoy it. I really love walking in the wild countryside, in the hills in Scotland as well, if I can. And yeah, try it yourself.